Hello my dear friend, Allah upon all the people of the earth, Baha'is and non-Baha'is alike. To me everyone is Baha'i because the light of baha'u'llah, which is the eternal sun, is on the planet, so everyone is under the light. Some know it, some they don't know. Some are not Baha'is, they think they are. And many of the people are so ready for this light, but they can't come in because a lot of us Baha'is, including myself, we're like a dirt on the robe of Baha'u'llah, making it to look dirty and bad. And that is the complaint of Baha'u'llah. I acknowledge to that, and I hope Baha'u'llah helps me to clean myself up. More than this, that I'm attaching myself to a super being such as him, the essence of kindness and giving, the unconditional giver to everyone. So, continuing the ethical subject, one of them is philanthropies, because it is the subject of the day. I'm so fascinated with Mr. Bill Gates and all his life that he has earned the money, and now he's, getting saturated, and things are coming apart and he's giving it away. Well, when I look at the philanthropist, philanthropy itself is a great word. It's about giving, it's about serving humanity and all that. So, but when I look at the philanthropists today, doesn't matter which country you go, you see that these people, they were not in the beginning great individual, that they were serving people and whatnot. They were all egotistic, selfish sons of a gun, that they understood only money and only themselves, and they tried to grab the money really hard and good. Believe me, if they were not like this, if they were giving and so on, they would never gather this kind of a money that they have right now. So they had an attitude of collecting the money like the magnet, and that is why they become so big. And then of course when they become old, since they've done every trick of the trade, so they're tired, and they hear the advice, and they feel, okay, well, let's just do something good. And of course, because every man likes to be appreciated on the good things that he has by the people, to call him the generous one, to tell him thank you, to tell him my life has changed because of you, and all of that. And that's another problem again, is that we like to be recognized. So in that regard, I have to give credit to all the philanthropists, including Mr. Bill Gates and his surrounding people, and the website that he has put on and asking people to give their money away. I don't know, is this a repent from what they've done in the past, or a new hobby that they have discovered? Whatever it is, there are benefits to other people, however temporary it is and however limited it is. But sometimes if you discover really inside, you see a lot of this giving without plan. It can cause also problem, the problem that we do not know. I'm going to discover some of that. I'm going to talk about it, a few of them. So, yes, Baha'u'llah says that a wealthy man who shares his money with others, his wealth with others, God really, really appreciates that. So therefore, naturally, him being my master, my father, my mentor, my creator, naturally, I agree 100%, and I think what he says is correct. So one day I heard of the Bill Gates, Mr. Bill Gates. I mention his name because I just simply like this man. I'm kind of fascinated with him because he's the evolution of the wealth. What happens, at the end of the wealth. There's like a fountain that goes up and it just comes right down. It's its nature of the world. At one point it just comes back. It's not whether he likes it or not. It's the course of evolution. So I heard that he's put a video asking the rest of the Americans around the world, they put their money down. And I looked at one of the chart one day. I was, I think, in a dentist office, and it says Bill Gates Foundations and how much money he has given in his foundation, few $1 billion a year. I was really, like this. And I thought, this is the good action. Finally, might end this man, lead this man of his good ethics. Might create finally some good deeds. So he will get some qualities, real spiritual quality. So I went on the website and I told him that, sure, you should know that, as the English old saying, it says mind over matter. It is always the good thoughts, the good ideas that brought all this wealth to you and to everyone. There are many great ideas that are the raw material for the wealth, and they're out there. And not just money, but they can save the world. That is also wealth. If there are those who want to share their great ideas and opinions, things that can change the whole life of the mankind. And I sent him an email. Well, I never, got any response from him. I just did that so for the history that to be remained. That there are a lot of people such as mine. I've been, global and talk a lot, and but there are others they don't, but they have great ideas. So let it remain as a part of the history that I did try to contact the man, and I knew there's no result. There's a story that in Islam I heard that one day Jesus Christ was going with his disciples to a certain synagogue, perhaps. It's an Islamic narration, it's not in the Bible probably. So, and he said, disciples said, great, now we have another one. Jesus said, yeah, this man is waiting for me so long, I have to go and tell him I've come. He goes, and disciples were happy. They said, go, we're going to have a great supporter. Jesus said, no, he will actually chase me with his shovel and kick me right out, and you'll see. They said, Master, why do you go there? He says, because he was waiting. He has to know that his way of wanting me is incorrect. It's create an image, wrong image in him. So Jesus goes, and then the disciples saw Jesus is fleeing, fast, and this man is behind him, with this stick trying to beat him up. And he even took the part that he was walked on the ground out, that he's a total infidel, satanic man who says, I am Jesus Christ. But for the history, the same happened with baha'u'llah, that some of the early Germans, they went in Holy Land, and for the thinking that, the great Lord Jehovah will come in there. And it says on his things right there, on one of these restaurants, something is written. And Baha'u'llah actually went there, and they did not pay the slightest attention. So this is why I said that letter to Mr. Gate. I actually do not need his money at all. His money would create more responsibility for me. I'm a small puny man. What I have right now, what I can is, as you can see, I can't do more than this. So if I do more than this, probably I'll just die so fast. Can't do more than this. My thinking is too much. Let me just say this part, and maybe others they come in the future and continue this. But the end of the matter is that when you're doing things, philanthroping, service to mankind, getting the money, benevolences, you're trying to do good things without plan, the result may not be all that glorious. I have written in one of my masnavis in Persian. It's called the Masnavi of Selfhood. And that masnavi, I brought a story, poetry. The story of a man who always cries to God, says, God, I am the supporter of the poor people, and I've lost all my life in this. And you are not helping me to help people. What kind of a God are you? Finally, hits the jackpot and he gets huge money from somewhere. He received it. Big, huge money. Well, as the story, classical, way of saying is that, okay, he forgets all his friends and the poor people and this. So they said, no. Those are the stories and their histories or whatever. The reality is that I'm not going to feel rich to forget all the good people and the poor people and the people that I know. So I'm not going to act like the way the story goes. He goes on and gives a lot of poor people big money, and some of them people that they were not respecting him before and whatever, didn't pay attention to them and whatnot. So he, feeling so great about himself, said, look, you see, I'm not like those guys that they get money and forget poor people. Sleeps and have a dream, and some angel, whatever, comes to him and tells him that, listen, we have given you money, we haven't given you generosity. Generosity is the quality you do not have. You're thinking God is a stingy being, that he's not giving money to the people and making them poor, that you're trying to act like God among the people? He says, well, what could that be wrong? He told him that, the angel told him many things wrong. For example, certain guy that he was so poor, never had even a bike. You bought him a house and car and this and that. Since you have no experience with the big money, all of a sudden, he goes, buy a car, buy a house. They didn't know how to use the equipment in the house. The house went on fire. His children dead. As a result of your giving, this guy couldn't handle it, and he's right now destroyed. The other people that they were so graceful and they were not, pleading, begging hand to you, and you totally ignored them. Some people that disagreed with you, did, show them any sympathy at all. Who are you? You're not God. You asked for money, we gave it to you. But if you want generosity and other things, this is not who you are. He says, my God, what happened to me? He went this time to study very well. He says, I'm going to study, just like Bill Gates. I'm going to find out exactly where my money should go and what should I do and what not. He starts to do that this time. Of course, in my story, I explained that the people who are in the need, he removed the need, and need seems to be need to the poverty, and the poverty they have is like a chain that holds them together. He removed the chain. These were not good people, and now the chain of the poverty is gone, and they're now all strong people, and they have money, and they are creating a bizarre conflict among themselves. There's so much problem among themselves. Because before, because of the need, they were all subservient and whatnot. Now they've got the money that they didn't work for it. They didn't earn it. They just got it. And now there's so much problem. And the competition among them is that, that good man gave you more and this guy. So they come back at him for the complaint that, hey, you haven't given me even nearly enough as much as you have given to the other guy. So they start to hate him because they thought he's discriminating against them. And he says, listen, I gave you for your need. I'm impossible for me to answer your greed. I came here to help, but people didn't listen. Now they have some power in them. They put lawsuit on him, whatnot. They got him. They got him so bad that finally escaped. He escaped. So people are after him to kill him even. That you bastard, you didn't give me enough. You gave the other guy big money, and my wife is angry at me. All kind of excuses they brought. He goes to God. He says, God, what's happening? I studied this time where to give my money and this and that. God told him that, why do you think I don't have a body?